Hey, welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Audit service to see what's going on inside of your tenancy so that you can have everything under your control. And of course we're going to cover why you should be very concerned in terms of security in the cloud. And I'm going to wrap up this video with a hands-on demonstration so that you can see how these things will work in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Are you ready? Okay, cool. So before we get started, I would like to ask you, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Subscribe yourself in our channel so that you can be notified whenever a new videos comes in. And then also, if you don't follow us yet on Instagram, so please go ahead, go there and follow us on Instagram. It is the cloudbootcamp.english. I'm gonna love to have all of you there. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to share a lot of things, cool things in the next few days over Instagram as well. So you don't want to miss that. Okay, all right, so let's go and jump into the content now, and then I would like to start first in talking why you should be concerned with cloud security, right? Cloud is a big subject. If you think about that, the CIOs and the CTOs, they should be very worried about security in the cloud. They should be very cautious, and they of course are investing a lot in security because that's how you can keep your data safe. If you keep the data safe, you're keeping all the company property safe as well, right? Of course. So all the company data is located in the cloud, so it's going to be moved, right? Of course, a lot of companies still are moving to the cloud, but for the companies which are already in the cloud, the data is already there in the cloud. So you should make sure that the data security is in place so that there's no breaches or attacks that could compromise the data of the companies, right? And if you think about cloud is a very nice space where the hackers could compromise very easily data from the companies, right? Because the reason for it is, if you think about that, in order to access any resource in the cloud, the only thing that you need to have, if you don't have, of course, multi-factor authentication in place, is only your username and a password. And then once you have the username and a password and the URL of the cloud provider, anybody can go there and log into the tenancy, right? So that's why it is best practice, of course, to have multi-factor authentication enabled so that you can have more than one way to authenticate yourself, and that will be helpful for preventing access of unauthorized people in your tenancy, right? But let's say that you'd like to see what's going on, who is logging into your tenancy, who is being granted to access your resources, or which kind of operations those users are doing in your tenancy, right? How do you do these things in OCI? Is there any way to do it? Maybe you're wondering, right? And the answer is yes. By using the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Audit service, you can basically audit everything that is going on in your tenancy. So what the audit service does is it basically captures all the API calls that a user is making against your tenancy. And if you think about that, right, even if you use the UI, the user interface in your browser, at the end of the day, the browser is translating all the requests to HTTP requests, and that is going to be translated to an API call at the end of the day, right? So at the end of the day, everything is an API call, whether it is a UI or CLI, everything will be a HTTP call against the API endpoint, right? That's why when anybody does anything in the OCI, it is going to be captured, and then from that event, it is going to generate a audit event so that you can see which kind of activities were going on in a given moment in time in your tenancy, right? And that is the use case, of course, that is the main use case that you want to use the audit service in OCI, so that you can see what is going on inside of your tenancy in a given moment of time, right? Let's say that you'd like to see or to understand better who is creating instances in your tenancy, or who is listing your instances in the OCI, in the compartments in the OCI, right? You can can see all these things using the audit service of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, right? Or let's say that you'd like to understand what is the source IPs, the source of the users which are logging into your tenancy. You can do it with audit service as well. It is basically a very granular way to do the audit in your tenancy in OCI. And I would like to show you now in the practice. So basically, as you can see, I'm right there in my browser. I'm going to log in using my Jean Rodrigues tenancy, and then I'm going to quickly log in here using my authentication, which is already saved in my browser, so that's why it is not asking me. So now what you need to do is just go on the OCI menu and scroll down to the governance section and then click in audit. Once you see the audit page, so you're going to basically see a few fields in here. The start and end date, which allows you to filter and see only the audit events in a given moment of time. I'm not going to filter now, I'll just leave as it is. And if we scroll down in here, we can see all the events that are happening in my tenancy in OCI. For example, if you see, I can see who is listing my instances in OCI. So I can see that the Jean.Rodrigues user listed my instances in OCI at this point in time, right? And all the records in here in the audit service is basically record using the UTC time zone. So you gotta convert that to your local time zone if you want to see when that happened, right? And if you scroll even further down in here, you can also see who is launching instances in your tenancy. For example, there is one event in here when the user Jean.Rodrigues launched a instance, which is the instance name, instance which is showing right here, I'm highlighting. And as you can see, the event was launch instance, which basically is the VM creation, a VM or body metal creation, right? If you want to see the details on this event, you can basically come here and see the payload of the audit event. So as you can see, this instance was launched in the compartment, and this is the name of the compartment, the name of the resource, the ID of the resource, and it was launched in the Phoenix region and in the AG2. All the details are here, and you can also see that this instance was launched using a Mozilla browser in a Mac OS computer, which is a very nice granular way for you to see what's going on in your instance, right? So that's basically how you can see what's going on in your tenancy in OCI. So I would like to ask you, if you like this video, please give me your thumbs up and leave here in the comments if you are security cautious or not, and what would be the use cases for you to use the audit service in OCI. And I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you very soon in the next ones. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.